Yo, what is up guys, it's Lost Girl. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm be dropping a Finn matchup chart for you guys who are playing Finn out there and want to know which matchups to focus on, which ones to make sure you're brushed up on, because there are some matchups in this game right now with the top tiers especially that are very tough. So I kind of want to just go over all of them as a Finn player. So I kind of just put these little captions right here, like these I have an advantage, whatever, because like +1 and +2 aren't very not very accurate. I feel like it's better to just explain why my intuition leans towards it, because I don't have like Evo, like multiple years of experience. Like these characters just got nerfed, so I'm going off a little bit of intuition but mostly experience here to try to show you guys like what matchups really are the best for Finn and what are the worst for Finn. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and if you guys want more Finn content, make sure you like and comment down below. And let's just get right into it. All right, so starting off right now, I'm gonna go with Velma. Velma probably does have a -2 matchup against pretty much the entire cast. This character really sucks. I don't see why she would be able to get Finn off of her during any part of the match. She has basically no like good get off me tools. All her projectiles are just pretty useless against Finn's kit, and she just really has nothing to deal with him with. Like, I don't know, I just don't see the reason in thinking she would be a good pick against Finn. Next up we got Jason. This character's too big, and Finn has a lot of good ways to deal with armor, so his neutral special is super invalidated. Jason has disjoints, but so does Finn, and so a bigger body with the same level of disjoints just makes it a horrible matchup for Jason, in my opinion. The main thing that makes him decent in the first place, the fact that he can poke heal from far away, becomes obsolete. So yeah, I don't know, this character is not very good against Finn. Next up we got LeBron, which might be a little bit of a mix-up for some people. I think this character is pretty bad against Finn. I've known this because I played against Chris Extifers, who's one of the best LeBrons right now. I think that whenever I was playing against him, I realized that pretty much ball has no purpose. I mean, shoulder charge, the grounded side special on Finn, becomes a god move where you can use it to approach and start combos. You can also use it to shut down his basketballs. You can use it for basically anything, and that move alone makes this matchup basically impossible for Braun. I highly recommend the devs make a ball not destroyable with Finn side B, so that the matchup isn't so one-sided, because I genuinely feel like LeBron hard loses. Next up we got Bugs. This character I used to think was only a +1, but I think it's a +2, simply because he completely destroys Bugs safe. He can just side B his rocket, and most of Bugs like combo starting aerials are like, don't get me wrong, his up air is really good for reversing Finn, but besides that, like all of his combo starting aerials, after he loses those specials that contribute to his projectile game, it makes him a more incomplete character, therefore making the matchup easier for Finn. Literally the only thing Bugs has going for him is the fact that he can parry and up air and kill Finn at like any percent, basically, as long as he goes for the reversal. But like besides that, this character basically has nothing to deal with him. Next up we got +1, so I have an advantage probably. This tier is full of characters I think I'm slightly better than, usually in terms of just tier, so I can like kind of just put them in +1, knowing the matchup a little bit, knowing if Finn is good or not against them, plus being able to know how strong they are based off the meta, based off of playing against them a few times. You're already here? I'm recording a Finn matchup chart. All right, so yeah, in the end, I have an advantage probably category. We got Iron Giant, Superman, Rick, Taz, Banana Guard, Jake, Rain Dog, Harley, and Stripe. All of these characters, I'll go from Iron Giant and on. Iron Giant is a incredibly broken character who arguably could be even or -1. The only reason why I put it in here is theoretically, if he's balanced, this should be a horrible matchup for him, considering that Finn has the ability to break his armor. Basically, I feel like he beats Iron Giant for the same reason he beats like Superman and Jason. I think Finn is really good against this archetype. I think this is his best archetype matchup, is against like these heavy characters with like armor and stuff like that. So Iron Giant's one of these characters. He's also really easy to combo, so I just feel like this is a great matchup for Finn. The only problem is that it hovers all the time, because like Iron Giant's such a buggy and such a broken character. Next up we got Superman. Same deal as I said before, just the ability to break armor. You can put on perks to break his armor that make it even easier. Even though you die really early, he has a lot of options against some of Superman's best tools, etc, etc. Really good matchup. Rick, his zoning definitely outclasses Finn a little bit, considering the fact that Finn can't just get rid of all of it. He can side B Meeseeks, but he cannot side B Laser. But the one thing that's good about this is that he low profiles laser. Like if Rick shoots a laser across the screen, then Finn literally doesn't have to interact with it. He can just like let it go, and just like up tilt and just like charge and just like approach the Rick. Like laser literally does nothing. So it makes the matchup really awkward for Rick, because his kit is so like based off of laser and based off of his projectiles. He ends up just having a jab and Sarah. It's just, he just loses to Finn pretty hard. Next up, we got Taz. Taz, this character is just kind of trash, to be honest with you. I really just don't think this character can be justified to be winning against Finn right now. He doesn't have really that many options to deal with Dogpile or Tornado. The thing about this matchup is that like Taz really does not have the same 0 to death potential as Finn does. So Finn will always be landing more consistent 0 to deaths and therefore will be, in the long run, winning most stocks. Banana Guard is winning for Finn, I feel like, because he has range to deal with like what Banana Guard is usually annoying against other opponents with. Like, I feel like a lot of other opponents get really annoyed because Banana Guard has a shit ton of range on top of the damage and the knockback he has. So it's really hard to deal with. But whenever Finn can match that range and then have more like overall lethality, being able to start really long combos, being able to weave around and down air or down special against his side special, being able to consistently dodge his side air and then anti-air him, like Finn has a lot of different ways to deal with Banana Guard. Next up, we got Jake. Jake is also kind of trash right now, but I do feel like Jake has at least some kind of ways to deal with him, so I don't think he's like +2. But I feel like Jake is in the situation where he still has bite. He has a few of his aerials that lead to combos and lead to edge guards. I think the best shot that Jake has against this matchup is spamming Sair, trying to get Finn off stage and then just checkbaiting him, getting rid of as many options as you can, or trying to catch him in disadvantage. That's like the best way you can beat Finn on Jake. I genuinely just can't see a world in which Jake has a good shot against Finn, honestly. Next up, we got Rain Dog. This character just gets completely comboed to death. He's a combo food, and also a lot of his tools to get people off him doesn't really work very well against Finn. His kill power is pretty good, and his combos are decent, don't get me wrong, and he stacks up damage for free. But man, this character is just not, he just doesn't have the capabilities to kill Finn. I just don't think he can. And so like, I just don't think this is a winning matchup for him. Next up, we got Harley. Now this is a character I would have probably put lower, but the problem is that now she's a little bit weaker after this new patch. Therefore, I feel like Finn does what she does, but slightly better. Some people are arguing that Finn is like top 5, top 6. So I feel like Harley is not anywhere near that region and does the same job, therefore making the matchup pretty bad for her, I feel like. And then with Stripe, you can destroy his Saw, and Dynamite is really mid now, which makes him like a much weaker character. I don't think anybody's talking about that. But after the Dynamite nerf, Stripe is really fucking trash, considering that was his main like gimmick, you know what I mean? That was making him so annoying to play against. So yeah, these two characters are just not in the state anymore to be able to beat Finn as consistently as they used to. Next up, we got Batman, Marvin, Garnet, Tom and Jerry, and Black Adam for Field that Feels Even tier. I'm a little bit not sure about Garnet. I could probably put her in +1, but I need more people in even so that my character looks worse. Batman just has to be an even matchup because it feels like since the beta, he's always had a lot of ways to deal with Finn, and like having Batarang so you can like side B consistently, you know what I mean, against his Batarang, destroy that. His Bat Bomb not being as threatening considering you have ways to reverse him with Nair. Like, I don't know, I feel like the matchup for Batman has always been pretty even, and now that Batman's like a pretty high tier character, up there kind of close to Finn, I feel like you can argue for the fact that they're an even matchup now. Next up, we got Marvin. Now I think this matchup is even simply because Marvin, maybe it is winning for Finn, but like I just feel like Marvin is such a gimmicky character. Like, he has not been explored enough, and I feel like a lot of the Marvins haven't really like shown off how good he is yet. So I feel like on paper this matchup could be losing for Finn, considering there's a lot of different things Finn can't really deal with at all. I just feel like Marvin has options in this matchup, but he doesn't really ever get steamrolled by me, and he always has the ability to at least like man neutral pretty often, which can make it a pretty even matchup. Next up, we got Garnet. Now I know some people are gonna say this is an easier matchup for Finn, especially because of her weight and all that stuff. But since she's so she's less reliant on armor and more on her combos, making it more of an even matchup in the heavy category, I feel like Garnet isn't so heavily reliant on having to armor through attacks, which is one of Finn's biggest strengths, is the fact that he can easily get rid of armor and shred through it pretty much consistently. And Garnet's not really built around that very much. She's built around her side B, she's built around her combo game, and a lot of those things aren't really neutralized by Finn much, so it makes the matchup actually pretty back and forth and pretty fun. Next up, we got Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is another character kind of like Marvin, where it's like these characters both have so much potential as zoners. These both are characters that both have like insanely good projectiles, both Marvin and Tom and Jerry. But the thing is like, even though they don't have any like insanely good built-in counterplay, I feel like a lot of their zoning potential and a lot slower of a game gives them a much better shot against Finn. I think it just depends on the ability for you to multi-manage your cooldowns and still be able to land consistent combos or at least win neutral as these characters, and I swear you will consistently be able to take down Finn players. Next up we got Black Adam. This feels even because this character is still really good. He has a lot of really broken hitboxes. His projectiles are really good against Finn since you can't get rid of most of them. Him being able to recover really easily with his fly mechanic can be kind of annoying whenever Finn is trying to edge guard. I don't know, this matchup feels like Black Adam actually has some stuff he can do to win it. So overall, I feel like it's a even matchup. Next up, we got the kind of painful, but it is manageable tier. Now, this is some of the characters that I feel like I'm slightly losing against, but it means that I basically just can't autopilot through it. I have to actually try and like I can't just like let the match win for me just for off my base raw skills. I have to like come up with a game plan, like react to the enemy. So it's like this is definitely a harder matchup pool for Finn. All right, so first off we got Morty. So I feel like his dirt is still pretty decent, even though you can't split grenades very well with it. His dirt is pretty damn good still, and even though they nerfed him quite a bit and he's not nearly as strong as he was last patch, he still has way too much stuff. He still has like a really good jab. He still has his grenades, which are really good. Finn can't really deal with them at all. He still has a good recovery with his up B and a lot of different other options. I feel like this matchup is just pretty tough for Finn, but I really think you could argue for this being more of like a minus 0.5. I don't think it's losing that hard, but I think that Morty has a very slight advantage. Next up, we got Arya. I feel like Arya is a character that kind of does a lot of what Finn does, but better, but then also does a lot of what Finn does, but worse. But the thing she does better makes the matchup more painful for Finn. All of her basic like ground attacks kill despite Finn's not. So if you guys don't know, like most uncharged tilts for Finn kill at like 150 or so on certain maps, depending on when you're hit during it. Like whenever you're hit by the top of up tilt, it'll kill at like 110, but at the bottom of up tilt it could kill at like 150, which is pretty sad. Meanwhile, Arya, all of her ground attacks kill at like 110, 100 consistently without any like flaw at all. They all combo out of jab. They all are extremely easy to hit. And her down attack is an absolute crime. I don't care what he says. So this character is just really annoying to deal with. She's really hard to combo as well. She can reverse you at any time. This matchup just sucks, to be honest. Next up we got Gizmo. This character is just really overpowered. His car is pretty annoying to deal with. He has a lot of really good ways to take you into the air. His up air can reverse you really consistently. He has a lot of different zoning tools. Like, I don't know, this character is also another example of a character that just has way too much, very overkitted. And therefore, like, I feel like any Gizmo with a dynamic plan can come up with a way to beat Finn, no matter what. Next up, we got Wonder Woman. This matchup is really tough because she's kind of like Shaggy in that she runs at you with just really good buttons. There's not really much you can do about it whenever she does way more damage than you, and she has more range than you, better frame data than you. This matchup really sucks. I don't really like playing against Wonder Woman that much, but whenever I do, it's usually a toss-up whether I can pull it together or not and win. So overall, I feel like this is a losing matchup for Finn. Next up, same thing with the argument I had for Wonder Woman. I feel like these characters that have really simple buttons that are just kind of really strong win against Finn, for the simple reason that like they can win neutral more consistently because they're not based off of combos and a lot of inconsistent variables that make Finn so strong. So I feel like these like consistent characters that just have really overpowered buttons are just really good against Finn. And then the last two hardest matchups I feel like are Steven and Joker. These two matchups are absolute torture. Joker, first of all, I'll start off with his jab is still a war crime. They did not change much about it. They gave him a new infinite combo that carries people across the stage. Not infinite, but like really OP combo. So he's not really that much weaker this patch. His side special is still goated. A lot of his other buttons are still goated. There's really no way you can approach this character as Finn, and I really never get to land 0 to death combos on this character almost ever because of his up air and how fast it comes out and how consistently it kills. Yeah, Joker, especially if they know how to parry, like this matchup is absolutely just a nightmare. Next up, we got Steven. Now, I will say I think this matchup could be argued for this tier now that, you know, the new parry change came out for him. But he basically used to be able to parry and also shield mid-air versus Finn strings, which is obviously really bad. The fact that he can either absorb the damage or he can parry it and then kill you off of it with his up air. This character, before the parry fix, was really broken, really hard matchup, and I'm assuming it's still a really bad matchup, but I want to get more updating on it, you know, especially with the fact that there's, you know, the new mid-season patch out. I want to try out the matchup a little bit more, but I feel like this still could be a +2 for Steven, even a +1 for Steven, just because of the tools he has to deal with Finn and the ways he has to get him off him. His Nair used to be a projectile, which would be a lot easier for Finn to deal with, but now it's counted as like a melee attack, which, you know, definitely makes it a lot harder to side B it or just deal with it in general. I mean, it is kind of nice because it doesn't have the flaming dock effect anymore, but it does make Steven a lot more tough to deal with. And yeah, there's just a lot of things Steven can do, and I feel like the matchup is just really tough. What do you guys think about all these matchups? Let me know it down below, because yeah, no, this is just a general consensus of what I think most, you know, matchups feel like for Finn right now in the current meta, especially after the mid-season patch that happened a few days ago. A lot of people are wondering what I think about Finn in his current balance state, so I'll talk about that for a little bit. I think Finn has a little bit too much in the air in terms of his nair into backpack. I think they could add more to his side air and down air and make him more combo based and more damage based, instead of like, oh, let me just like get a read off of you and just kill you off 2 hits. I don't really think that's very fun or very fair for either player. I think you should look at getting rid of his really cheap, you know, kills off the top with backpack, and look more into making his damage combo game a lot better, and not making him so based off of these cheesy, like, you know, one interaction like kills that I don't really think take that much skill. Just take a good amount of guesstimation and, you know what I mean, like experience. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like that shit's very fun to play against on Finn, or it's getting kind of boring to pull off as well, you know, as I keep playing him more and more. But yeah, guys, that's what I think about Finn's current balance right now. I think he's like probably number 6, number 7 right now, maybe even number 5 in terms of like, you know, the 1v1 tier list. But yeah, I'm just really excited for Agent Smith to drop. I'm gonna be playing the shit out of him, and I'll be dropping a lot of content for him in a few days, so I'll see you guys then. As of now, that's my new Finn matchup chart. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.